Chameleons and changing contexts. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast of The Ordinary Maverick. This is Ajay, your host, an ordinary maverick, sharing real life thoughts and experiences and maverick tips. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do so, and you will not miss another episode. In keeping with the word of the month, curiosity, and the alphabet letter C, here are some words for today's podcast: chameleons and changing contexts. Some months back, I've done an episode on bats titled Trust with Bats. Bats are in the news for so many reasons. And my aunt in law loved it. She reached out and shared how the episode gave so much insight into bats, and that another fascinating reptile was the chameleon. Yes, for sure, chameleons are intriguing. So I dug into my research, and fellow mavericks, I learned some amazing stuff. And even more was how it connects to us and our lives. So, firstly, about chameleons. Chameleons are a distinctive and highly specialized clade of old world lizards with 202 species as of 2015. They have long shooting tongues, oddly shaped horns or crests, and a prehensile tail, almost like a monkey. They come in a range of colors, and many species have their ability to change color. Another interesting fact is that their cone-shaped eyes are independently mobile, so they can look in different directions at the same time. But in aiming at a prey item, they focus forward in coordination, and this gives them the stereoscopic vision. Chameleons live in trees and bushes. Their feet and tail are adapted to help them stay in place, and they use their toes, which are divided into groupings, to help grasp the branches, while their tail coils around the branch and helps stabilize their balance. Chameleons are super adaptable and live in warm habitats like the rainforest and deserts. So one can find different species in Africa, Madagascar, southern Europe, and across southern Asia. And they have been introduced to Hawaii, California, and Florida. But almost half of the world's species live in Madagascar. Today, the population of these lizards is threatened due to the loss of habitat by human activities. This is a reality for many endangered species. The lesser chameleon species is listed as the endangered one today. It is only found in Madagascar. Many other species of chameleons are also endangered, that is almost about 55% of them. It is particularly important to note this, as although all reptiles are facing danger and are decreasing in numbers, for chameleons in particular, it's even more urgent to take action. This is because so many chameleon species are range restricted, that is, they only live in a small geographic area. So if that area is threatened by human activities, the species faces danger. In fact, the rarest chameleon on Earth is Chapman's pygmy chameleon. This hasn't been seen in 15 years and is on the critically endangered species list. In fact, it may already be extinct, as its forest home in Malawi is now down to just 2 forest fragments. This is such a worldwide challenge, and we all need to firstly be aware, and then secondly do all we can to support efforts towards conservation as well as protection of chameleons. I recall being fascinated by chameleons and their ability to change colors and camouflage themselves. Most people think that chameleons change color to blend in with their surroundings. This is not true. Mostly, chameleons change colors to communicate or to respond to changes in mood or temperature. And this happens because the chameleon's skin has a superficial layer which contains pigments, and under the layer are cells with very small nanoscale guanine crystals. Without getting into too many details, it seems there is some unknown molecular mechanisms that come into play and change the wavelength of the light reflected off the crystals, which then changes the color of the skin as well. Of course, while camouflaging is an important reason for the color change, it is also used for social signaling and in reactions to temperature and other conditions. Chameleons tend to show brighter colors when displaying aggression to other chameleons and darker colors when they submit or give up. They are mainly insectivores, but some species can also take on other lizards and young birds. Many people keep chameleons as pets. Yes, they are popular. And contrary to belief, chameleons present very little danger to humans and are generally a low risk pet. However, they are solitary animals and should be given minimum handling. They can bite, of course, but it's non toxic. These characteristics of a chameleon, particularly adaptability, having stereoscopic vision, a tongue with pinpoint accuracy, and being solitary, slow and sure, are things for us to learn from. Yes, think about it. Chameleon is generally slow and then fast. What I mean is, a chameleon can sit in one place for hours and then, when it spots its prey, it will horn in and then keep its focus fully on the prey. Ensure both its eyes are coordinated and then shoot out its tongue with razor sharp accuracy, getting its prey each time. In life, this is what is so challenging, being slow to be fast. Now, what do I mean? Often we just keep rushing through our days, completing one task to the other, right? How often have we become consciously slow and zeroed in on our goal, our focus? And then, once we have that focus, we move forward with precision, with intent, and for sure, success will be ours. The other quality of a chameleon is its adaptability. I mean, just see, the chameleon reaches a new place and takes the color of that one. It's sitting on a branch and it takes on that color. So one struggles to even see it. This is a quality that we need to think about. How do we adapt to new situations, new places, new people, and to changing contexts? How good are we in adapting, in gelling, and in becoming one with the new place? I've shared this before. We have moved many times and lived in different places. And I must say, it does require that focus and effort to adapt to a new setting each time. Of course, there are some fun times too in this adaptation. Like when I was in Nigeria, complete strangers would greet me in the morning and ask me, "How was your night?" The first time it happened, I was taken aback. Didn't quite know how to respond. And moreover, why would he like to know about my night? But then as I lived there and learnt about the country, it became something I was used to and just responded, "Fine, my night was fine or good," without batting an eyelid. Then when we were in South Africa, we got invited to a braai. I wasn't sure what that was. But by the end of our time, we ourselves were inviting people over for a braai. Okay. If you haven't experienced a South African braai, then you have really missed something. It's a barbecue with the South African flavor, and nothing can beat a braai on a laid-back Sunday afternoon along with some fantastic South African beers or a gin and tonic. And then we were in Bangladesh, and the week started on a Sunday. Weekends were Friday and Saturday. And over the years, we have got so attuned to Friday nights. In fact, it's always TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. And then the fun of Saturday and Sunday that it took us some time getting used to. Now it was like TGIT. Thank God it's Thursday. And then Friday and Saturday fun. And meetings starting the week on Sunday. Must admit, it felt super odd initially. But then once again, we adapted and we are happily doing TGIT and Sunday morning meetings soon. Being adaptable also involves being tolerant and accepting of the unknown. And we did need large doses of this quality during our recent lockdown phase, right? All of us had to adapt, and some did this better than the others. Of course, there's another side to this chameleon trait. It's used to describe a person who often changes his or her beliefs or behavior in order to please others or to succeed. Often, this is seen in political circles, and the person is called a political chameleon. Just changing beliefs, changing parties, all to win an election. Such kind of behavior can, of course, make you lose trust and confidence in that person. So, yes, while it's good to be adaptable, one can't become chameleonic, as they say, in your beliefs or behavior just to please others or to succeed. That then reflects our integrity, our value systems. So, as we move into these last 2 weeks of the first month of the year, let's take a moment to think about the chameleon, about the adaptability quality, and how we adapt to changing contexts around us. We have had almost 2 years of the pandemic and gone through lots of ups and downs. But now we need to take on 2022, keep masking up, keep being safe, but at the same time adapting and continuing with our lives. We just came out of a 7-day quarantine at our home. We had family visiting and some folks tested positive. So our entire apartment was in quarantine. No one was going out and no one coming in. What an experience. Well, that's for another juicy episode going forward. Keep writing your comments and sharing your feedback at theordinarymaverick@gmail.com. And follow me on Instagram, #TheOrdinaryMaverick. I love hearing from you. This is Ajay signing off and wishing you have an amazing day and a super amazing year. Keep well, stay safe. Credits. This podcast series was put together as a team effort from the Bhardwaj family. Concept, design, title, researchers and reviewers Ajay, Sanjana, Avantika and Niharika Bhardwaj. Script, Sanjana. Cover design, Niharika. All rights reserved.